defense of this low total.
You do not want to hit it to that part of the field, Lenny, because you're just going to get out. Dive and catch once again. It's like lightning strikes twice. Spectacular.
Well, this is quite brilliant. The athleticism first shown by Dilpreet Badru in a catch where he was running over his shoulder. The only difference here for Kalim Sana, he had to go to his left. Canal, the latest to fall for 11. And the score, 32 for 3.
Yeah, when that ball came off, I'm like, oh, there we go. That's 4 or 6. But no, man. And those are the kind of plays you got to make when you didn't score like Canada did. Check out the replay here.
36 for 3, the score. In fact, you'll see the brilliance of Sana here, identifying where he is in relation to the rope and then getting in the acrobatic dive. It is his stronger side. He's a left-handed bowler and fielder, but that is another specky. We've seen 2 already today, and both have belonged to Canada.
Yeah, I mean, and Canada's probably going to need a few more if they want to win this match, but plays like that will keep you in the game. We're talking about how defense wins. That saves some runs right there.
So in comes young Kushal Malla. We're just talking about young, prodigious cricketers. Nepal, of the 20 teams that went to that T20 World Cup back in June in the USA and the Caribbean, they were the youngest squad by a distance. Average age, just a fraction over 23.
Wow.
Quite remarkable. Youngest captain in the tournament as well. That's Rohit Paudel, who's at the non-strikers. And he's actually the youngest captain to ever captain his nation in any World Cup, any senior World Cup, men's or women's. Really impressive, the young talent.
You know what I'm going to ask after everything you just said. Why? Why are they so young?
Well, there's just a hunger, isn't there, from a very young and very energetic side. The love for cricket in Nepal, it would stagger you, Matt. It's quite incredible. It's inbuilt into the culture and the national consciousness. As Kumar beats the outside edge, it is by a distance the most popular sport in the country, and I have to say their love for the game, absolutely inspiring. I think the youth thing is just a byproduct, really, of, I guess, of the culture of the country as well. I think a lot of players, as they get to sort of 25, 30, if they haven't quite made it, they will emigrate. They'll often head down to Australia or to come to America or to Canada if they can get some opportunities, whether that's to play some club cricket. So as a consequence, they really back their own youth, their home-produced youth. Gets us to the end of the power play, and maybe, just maybe, Canada edging ahead in the game. It's 36 for 3.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
So the end of the power play, it's probably, if anything, a 50-50 game right now. Nepal have had some batting woes, particularly in the 50-over format. They're looking to turn those around here in the T20s. Did everything right for the first 20 overs, but Canada have come roaring back at them. You can almost feel the tension here now, Matt Bonner, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, those 2 diving catches really swung the momentum and the energy, it felt like. You know, the whole time Nepal was in the field, their cheering section were chanting, up, clapping. We're not hearing much from them right now.
Remember, it could have been even worse for Nepal. I thought that was a catching opportunity down at a deep third man where Rohit Paudel loves playing that uppercut shot. He was actually dismissed to that exact same stroke to Kalim. Sana in the ODIs, the first ODI between these 2 countries. I think, not sure who the fielder was down at deep third. Anj Patel didn't get a great line on the ball, did he? Ended up kind of wrong-footing himself.
Yep, exactly. You know, you got to get that initial break when the ball hits the bat. You know, they're coming in so hot. That split second is the difference between making the play and not, for sure, in any sport.
There is going to be a slip in place, so with Thacker bowling his off breaks, he's going to turn the ball away from the left-hander. He's trying to bring that slip into place to get into play, really, to get another wicket, find a 4th.
Wow.
This one just skids on, angles on. Kushal Malla is known as a big hitter, but he's just been a little bit shy of form. Left out of the ODIs, back in now for the T20s. Both him and indeed Dipendra Singh Airi, their innings with the bat. We may see Airi in next, I think, at number 6. They're going to be critical. But the pressure is very much on Nepal.
Yeah, and you look at this replay, see how close he came to hitting the wicket. Not quite there. The sports psychology, I think, comes into play like this.
This is to the end of the 7th, sorry, Matt.
Yeah,
so
go
we're
ahead. We'll
37
finish
for 3.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's the no-frills thing to do.
So the required run rate, keep your eyes on that. In the bottom left of your screen, Nepal won't want that going up sort of past 7 or 8 and over, because then obviously it's more than 1 run for every single ball that they're going to require. And now it's going to be a trial by spin. Young Ansh Patel, who is making, I believe, his T20I debut today. He did debut last week in the ODIs. He's still just 22 years of age. You talk about some young Canadian talent coming through, and it is indeed his first T20I. What he'll do here, Matt, is he'll bowl the same as Sandeep Lamachani, but the mirror image. So he's a left arm wrist spinner, which is the rarest style of bowling in all of cricket. And he can turn it both ways as well.
That definitely keeps the batter on his toes, I would assume. You don't know what's coming.
There's something almost, it's probably a little bit like a sidearm pitcher, you know, some of those unorthodox
Like
ones.
Dennis Eckersley.
Yeah, in baseball.
Yep.
It's almost just because you're not used to facing it, it becomes that bit more difficult.
Yeah, I read a really interesting book called The Sports Gene about all these like micro movements you get used to playing a sport over the years.
Now, big appeal. This is full and straight, but not straight enough.
This is a
The
tough ump
umpire
right here.
says not out.
That's like the 6th major appeal I've seen. He hasn't given a call once. But yeah, these micro movements you intrinsically pick up on, and when they're shifted, whether it's a sidearm pitcher or, like you said, the rare lefty spinner.
Just going to see if we can get a replay of that LBW appeal. So the LBW law, Matt, in essence, the umpire's got to adjudicate whether it's hit the pad or not, or a part of the body, and whether it's going to go on and hit the stumps.
Yep.
So that, to me, looks really close. It's probably going to go on and see 15, 20, 30 years ago at all. They'll take on the fielders in the deep. So you can see the man was positioned there. This is going to be 4 more. I'm not sure Aaron Johnson is going to catch up with this. Maybe he will. Ooh, has to get the dive in. And they're going to try a 3rd. And the throw is relayed onto the stumps by Sherry Mova. They might think of a 4th here. And off goes Powdell. And they're going to end up getting 4 runs. Rather remarkably, thanks to the deflection off the stumps, the ball is still live then. It's not a boundary 4, but it's an all-run 4, which is incredibly rare.
Wow, yeah. You think when it hit it was a dead ball, but you're right. And heads up running by Nepal.
Good awareness, great match awareness from Nepal. Powdell's incredibly quick between the wickets. He called his young star through, so it's back-to-back, not boundaries, but 6 and now 4. 10 runs and 2 balls. It's changed the game.
Yeah, and now we're here in the crowd.
The crowd are coming up. Think about that LBW decision. Think about the small margins. Canada will feel as though they should have got that decision going in their favour. The umpire at the far end, that's Rohan Shah. He disagreed, and Mala is making use of his life. He's already to double figures. So it's 11 runs from the first over of Ansh Patel. It's 48 for 3.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. How's that? TD, ready for you.
So Nepal are going at exactly a run a ball. They've faced 48 balls across their 8 overs. They've scored 48 runs. So it means the equation now is 76 off 72. You don't want that equation to get too unbalanced if you're a Nepal fan. Let's get one more look at this big six down the ground. It was a great strike, wasn't it, from Kushal Malla? And that was the very delivery after he just survived a tight LBW shape.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about momentum and how things change. We saw the diving catches from Canada, and they were kind of locking down on defense. Now Nepal starting to get it going.
Oh, if you're Harsh Thacker, it's into the slot. That's a juicy strike zone delivery, and Paudel cashes in with a maximum.
It sure is. And you got to think, like, if you're Nepal, you know your target in this format. You're being ultra aggressive, and that's what we're seeing right here with this rendition of batters.
The margins in cricket, Matt, they are so small. So for that bowler there, if he's 6 inches shorter, that's an okay length. That's actually a good length. The batter's going to find that hard to get underneath. But there's a length that we call the slot, and that one there, Harsh Thacker, could not have bowled that more in the slot.
Yep.
Paudel identifies that, smashes it down the ground, 60 metres straight boundaries, he gets 6.
Yeah, these guys are too good. You're right. You can't make those kind of mistakes at this level.
Nicely worked into the leg side. I'll think of a second, but no need to take it on. Asad bin Safar does the fielding. It's been an amazing innings already, this chase. It's really ebbing and flowing, very topsy-turvy.
Yeah, very exciting match. And again, I think that's a credit to this format. You know, it breeds excitement.
They had a campaign, the ICC, the equivalent of a FIFA or World Rugby, the governing body for cricket. It was the 2014 T20 World Cup out in Bangladesh, and they ran this campaign in the build-up, saying it's one big over. One big over can change the game.
Yeah.
And that's either way. So if Ansh Patel had maybe got that LBW decision going in his favour, he might have had not just the wicket of Malla, he could have got a second wicket in the over. Instead, Malla turned that over in his favour by picking up the 10 runs from the next 2 balls. This is just inches short.
Wow.
I don't think it's carried on first viewing. We'll try and get another look, but Sad bin Safar, he was hovering in there at mid-wicket.
Some reflexes right there.
Going to be a single to close out the 9th over. 9 have come from it. Sad bin Safar ends up on his backside. It's 58 for 3.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
So the penultimate ball of the last over, Matt. Was this a catching opportunity? Did it carry to Sad bin Safar, the former captain?
Oh, yeah, he could have had it. I mean, that's a tough catch. You talk about reflexes. The camera couldn't even keep up with the ball. That's how fast it was coming at him. So I'd give him a pass on that. Would have been a nice play. Another highlight defensive play by Team Canada if he had come up with it.
I'm not quite sure it carried. I think it's one of those ones that even if he kind of got his hands to it, it might have been on the half volley. Really good effort, though. They're the most difficult catches to take. Well, the 2 hardest are the ones coming forward, and then the one that we saw Dilpreet Badger execute running over your shoulder. Now, Malla loves left arm spin. He takes it on. Long on is in place, and he takes the catch. And Sad bin Safar, he strikes from his very first delivery.
Just not quite far enough. I mean, man, you talk about multiple momentum swings in this match and in this format. That's another example right there. A few more feet, that's 6 runs. Another nice catch by Team Canada, keeping themselves in it with defense. Take a look at this replay.
Yeah, I think certainly for Kushal Malla, you'll see he's just going to try and go after left arm spin with the ball turning into him. I think it might be the sub fielder. It might be Ravinder Pal Singh who's taken the catch. We'll get that checked. The score, it falls to 58 for 4.
Is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Canada needs more cricket. Hassan! TD, ready for you.
So the match officiating team decided to take the drinks break on that first ball of the 10th over. The reason why, Kushal Malla has departed looking for another big one down the ground. It was the subfielder Ravinder Pal Singh who took the catch. It was well judged just inside the rope, and it has left this game on an absolute knife edge, Matt Bonner.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, could go either way. Think about it. We left the match after Nepal put on an absolute display defensively, thinking, man, it's a very slim chance Canada's going to be able to pull this out. But now the way they've been playing on defense, kind of matching that same effort, it's anyone's game.
And one thing to point out there, look at how disciplined the two bowling attacks have been. They've conceded just 3 extras and 1 extra, respectively. That's very much south of where your expectations would be. Anything under sort of 5 or 6 in a T20, and it's a great effort. Now here's a big moment. Kushal Bertel, he has represented Nepal 45 times in T20I cricket. Every one of those 45 games, he's opened the batting. He's walked out at the start of the innings. He's in a new role now. He's going to come in at number 6. He'll run quickly between the wickets. He'll look to sweep and cut and be good with his footwork. But maybe this is going to be a Kushal Bertel 2.0. This is a very new role for him.
And why do you believe they switched the roll up? What was the strategy in that?
I think there is some concerns around the form, not just of Bertel with the bat. He's still got a good career record, but I think generally across the Nepal team. And they tried to find a way to get Dev Kanal into the team. The youngster, he was the under-19s captain in their brilliant run where they beat Afghanistan to spark such remarkable scenes of celebration down in South Africa. So they think he's one to show faith in, and for Kanal, I don't think he could play this role at 6 or 7. And they want to get Anil Sand to the team as well. Again, another taller batter. I think some of the shorter batters have struggled with the bounce in these pitches. So it's a different kind of role, but Bertel has started brightly. This is what he'll do. He'll run brilliantly between the wickets. Excellent running, 2 more to the total.
Showing off that experience. How big of an adjustment is it when you grow up playing cricket in certain formats and now all of a sudden they introduce this T20? What type of adjustment is that for these players?
For all the leading associates like we're watching here, the top 12 nations in the world also play Test cricket. So that they've got to play 3 formats. For the best associates, they play 2. They'll play the 50-over cricket, which is a huge amount of context and relevance in terms of your funding, your world rankings, and where you sit within the pyramid of the world game. So both of these 2 sides, like Oman, who we'll see later in the No Frills Cup, they're all ranked in between 13th and 20th in the world in terms of the 50-over game. But then for T20, which is by far the most popular format now, there's over 100 sides in the world rankings in T20I cricket and 100 teams trying to get towards that 20-team World Cup. This is the one, I suppose, where you show off your flair, your audacity, your innovation. This is going to skid on and miss the leg stump. It'll also get us to the halfway stage of this second innings. Nepal, they're thereabouts, but the game continues to hang in the balance. It's 63 for 4.
As a business owner, you have a responsibility to give back to your community.
We hire local and we serve local.
Breakfast program, scoop program for kids.
Seniors bus program, providing transportation to and from the store.
So 10 overs remain for Nepal. It's the halfway stage of the chase. Maybe just a little bit of concern on the face of some of the subfielders there. Young Arjun Said amongst them. Missing out today, Arif Sheikh. I'm not sure we'll see him much in the T20s. For Nepal, they've expanded their squad from 15 to 16. They've not flown in anyone additional. So somebody who's a T20I specialist like Avinash Bahara, not here. They're just having to make do with what they have. And Dev Kanal has come into the squad. And he's batted at number 3. His Thacker's going to continue into his 4th. Just had a shuffle here in the commentary box. Vivek Jacob joins me now. Vivek, where is this game at? We thought Nepal were well ahead of it at the halfway stage. Canada fighting hard.
I think it's so evenly poised right now, and I think when you look at the match situation, it's all because we've had this variable bounce and this low bounce that has made it difficult for the batters.
Is there an aspect of Nepal's recent struggles in terms of not being able to get over the line and win games that we're also seeing maybe being exposed, and is that part of this?
I think we might maybe see that become more of a factor as we get deeper into the match. I think they showed good intent at the top. That say they showed winning intent.
They're really aggressive, weren't they, in the first 6?
No question about it. And I think that's where, when you lose those couple of wickets, that hesitancy can come in again, and that seed of doubt of, okay, how do we manage the situation? Do we play for the power play?
Said that Bertel would like to sweep. It's exactly what he does, but he doesn't really get anywhere near that as it comes off the glove and goes over the head of Sherry Ismova for a single. Powdle is so important, isn't he, in the chase? He's probably, across all formats, Nepal's most consistent batter. He's at a really good time of things in periods of 2024. He's exceptional against West Indies, say, on home soil, and he looks to be just kind of measuring this chase. He's happy to go to run a ball for the moment.
And no question, and they'll be saying if they can just keep wickets in hand, bat through the next 5, 6 overs, they'll know that with 6 wickets in hand, 6, 7, 8 runs and over won't be an issue.
So Harsh Thacker has bowled his 4 overs out already inside just 11 of the chase. He'll be pleased with his figures. He's got none for 18. The score is 68 for 4.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
It's a really interesting call from Nicholas Curtin. He's bowled Thacker out very quickly, and he's probably going to be pretty satisfied with the results, just going for 18 off his 4 overs.
No question.
Sad bin Safar is going to continue. If you're Curtin here, how are you kind of plotting these last 9 overs?
Well, I'm looking at Akhil Kumar for sure. He had the 1 over, took the wicket. Ansh Patel took a bit of stick in his over, so you may be keeping him away for now.
Now, not the right line, but Sad bin Safar gets away with it. Ansh Patel, was he a bit unlucky with that LBW shade? It looked very close, didn't it?
It really did. It really did. You could definitely say he's unlucky, but, you know, I think the way that over played out.
Bowls him straight through. We said Bertel would like to sweep, but he's going to fall, attempting to do so. It was far too full, wasn't it? Sad bin Safar is pumped up. He's so experienced, a former captain. He's got 2 wickets to his name. Canada have 5.
And it's a big one. It's a big one to get Bertel right there. And you look at that shot, it wasn't on at all. You look at the celebrations right now, you can see their tails are up. And you look at Saad just drifting that ball in, and full pitched delivery just wasn't there for the sweep. And we get another look at it. Just nowhere near that. Should have been a drive down the ground, but instead he goes for the sweep and is cleaned up.
Bertel's gone for 7. It's 68 for 5. Nicely bowled. The sweep shots haven't proved too effective for Nepal. That may be slightly in different bounds, causing some issues. Yeah, they talk about winning being a habit, but the problem is that losing's a bit of a habit as well. When you get out of that winning habit, it's difficult to find that return to form. Rowan Powell is going to be so important. You can see there, not getting anywhere near the sweep. There's been a good fielding effort, hasn't there, from Canada as well. That's applying further pressure.
And you saw Nepal, the way they fielded, it set the standard in the first innings, and now Canada have done brilliantly to respond. We saw their 2 great catches, and now even the ground fielding has really been excellent.
You can hear the Nepal fans just trying to get behind their team. These are, well, halcyon days for Canadian cricket, aren't they? It's a sellout crowd. Look at the vibe and the atmosphere up there. This is just so great to see.
It's fantastic. It's beautiful, and you look at this day on a weekend. People could be doing anything with their time. They're here, they're supporting, and they're enjoying the moment. And Canadian team is giving them something to really enjoy.
I think the fans are not just enjoying the moment, they're enjoying the momos as well, because the Nepali food truck is up there. I think they're doing a roaring trade.
No question about that.
You a momo fan?
Yeah, absolutely. Got a few spots downtown that'll get you can go.
Chicken Cote, they're the ones to go for. Really good over from Parveen Kumar. Nepal are getting themselves into trouble. Look at that required run rate. It's continuing to escalate. The score, 72 for 5.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. How's that? TD.